Welcome to Real Estate on the Rocks, where you get top shelf real estate conversations served straight up, never watered down. Here's your host, Dave Snowberger.
Hey, Marshall.
What's up, Dave?
Guess what time it is?
Time to get rocking?
Time for Real Estate on the Rocks.
All right.
Hey, James.
What's going on?
Make sure you're recording this time.
I think it's recording.
Well, then let's do it.
Does red mean stop or does green mean go?
I don't know. I just push buttons.
All right. That's pretty much it.
Which is what we thought.
Here we go. Welcome back to Real Estate on the Rocks. My name's Dave Snowberger. I'm joined in the studio with Marshall Tucker,
How's it going?
James Mendez,
What's going on?
and that's it. Alicia Hooper can't make it today. So here we go. One time. All right. We're going to talk about 3 reasons why new agents fail out of the business. I'd emphasize fails. I feel like Ben Love got a hold of my vocabulary real quick. All right, so let's get through it real quick. Let's go through some, let's do 3 reasons, the biggest reasons why I think, my opinion is, and other coaches out there, other real estate professionals feel the same thing. And I always ask these questions. Why do you think we have an 80% failure rate? I'm going to kick it off with they're not willing to do the hard work that comes with being an independent contractor. This is a business that you're starting, right?
Yeah. Or not fully understanding the gravity or the amount of work and things that are required for the business.
Starting your own business.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say that a lot of people come in, and even I did it a little bit, thinking this was not going to be this hard. It wasn't going to take up and consume so much time, because we all get into this because there's, it's presented as there's this great flexible schedule and you can make unlimited income while you have this flexible schedule. And I found out very fast that it didn't exist.
Yeah.
Like that just doesn't exist. Hand in
One
hand.
or the other in the beginning.
The schedule can be very flexible.
Exactly. But you're going to be broke.
That's right.
Or you're going to have some money and you're going to be, working 50, 60 hours a week. And I know people like to disagree with us. However, this, once again, is pointed at that 80% failure rate. We're trying to help these new agents coming into the marketplace, their marketplace, stay in a business, give them a realistic approach of what this business actually is. This business being a real estate. Your job 100% of the day is do what?
Sell real estate.
How do you do that if you don't have any clients?
You got a prospect.
Right. And that's what?
Finding leads all day long.
Which is hard.
It is.
It takes, it's not, a lot of times it's not physical labor. It's not, digging ditches and, turning over rocks to see if there's clients under there. However, it is mentally draining. It's mentally draining work to day in, day out, lead generate, lead follow up, lead convert. Correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Cool. Well,
And there's that failure to it too. So when you're calling people and they're saying no, and you just start wearing down more your endurance, you got to keep that up. So it takes a little bit of training for the mind to click over to be able to do that day in, day out.
Certainly. And we'll touch more on that. Yeah, we'll definitely touch more on that. But that'll lead me into our point number 2 is that another reason why agents fail in the first 2 years is because of fear. The fear, right? And so what are they afraid of, Marshall? What are some good things?
Afraid of a rejection when you're calling someone up, that they're going to chew you out or just flat out say no. No one wants to get rejected. Yeah. The fear of failure, doing the wrong thing, messing up something, not knowing enough about the topic, and just not knowing what to say. So you're not scripted yet. Someone says something, they shut you down pretty quick, and you just don't know how to recover from it, or you just flat out don't know what to say.
Right. So, and probably the biggest one is right there. It leads into it. It's a blanket statement, is fear of the unknown. Mm-hmm. Yep. You don't know, what's going to happen if I call. And then the whole time you call, you just kind of either hope that it goes to voicemail. You're pushing yourself to call and you're hoping it goes to voicemail, or they don't pick up, or, if they do pick up, that, they just get rid of you quick, and I don't have to explain much or ask many questions. What a colossal waste of time that is for agents at prospect that don't actually want to have a conversation, So I don't get that. But the fear of the unknown, it's there. It's still there for me. It's still omnipresent for me every day day that I pick up the phone is I let my mind wander a little bit about how this call is going to go. You know, we have a bad habit. I don't know if it's a bad habit, good habit, but it's a habit of vetting some of the people before we call them, right? So we look at their social media, and then we pass judgment very quickly of this person's going to be horrible on the phone. They're going to be so mean to me, you know, and just they're going to tell me to piss up a rope, and all of a sudden you call and it's like one of the best conversations you could ever have. So it just never turns out the way you think it's going to turn out. So I would encourage the more that you do, the easier it will get and become. Nobody likes to prospect. I get it. There's some people out there that say they love it. However, I'm going to go with that's a mindset that they put themselves in, that they present that they love prospecting. You know, it's an unnatural habit really to get into is picking up the phone every single day and calling people you don't know, disrupting their days. I get it. It's hard. However, it's the fastest way to help more people and the fastest way to a cash register.
Right. And so there's that fear there, and there's that rejection, you know, also there. And since we have that employee mindset and the business mindset, it's far too easy to quit. So if you have that fear there, it's easy just to say, I'm not going to make these calls today. I'm going to play on the internet.
Right.
Or I'm not even going to show up to work today because who's holding me accountable?
Right. So. Well, this person over here, they're not prospecting. You know, and people don't realize how important it is to stay in your own lane.
That person over there is not going to pay your bills either.
Yeah. Right. And so they think their impression in their head is that maybe that agent's doing great, and that agent does great by just sitting there or walking around talking to people while having coffee. You never know anybody else's situation in real estate. You never know anybody else's sales or productivity, really. You know, you can look at maybe some awards if your office puts those out. You know, if that broker puts the awards out, you can. And you never know where that came from or how long it took that person to close those properties that month. That's another thing.
True.
You know, is they worked that 30, 60, 90, and then now they're kicking back. Who knows if they're going to be on the leaderboards next month? If they're consistently on the leaderboards every month, then do whatever that person's doing. But I'm sure they're just not walking around the hallways, having coffee, chilling at the donut stand, you know, and picking up all the, you know, basically what I call time wasters. You know, is walking office to office, seeing how people's weekend was, if they're doing this, tell you about a negative open house, tell you about a negative client or a horrible showing. Like agents seem to do that.
Fill your head with all
time.
those doubts.
Right. And I would stay far, far, far away from that.
The ones you see least tend to be the producing the most, from what I've noticed.
Right.
And I actually just had a conversation last night about that organization in another office, and we were talking like, oh, I never see them. Well, I'll see them like pop by in the hall occasionally, but other than that, they don't talk to anybody, or they don't talk to everybody. They're not constantly outside. They go in the office, they prospect, they do their stuff, and then that's pretty much all you see them, unless they're out doing deals or, you know, social events, you know, just kind of making better connections. But other than that, they're nose down and in the grind. Yeah.
They're not doing the bad habit stuff. And, you know, they somewhere along the line, they realized this, or maybe they had a good coach. Maybe they've just followed great advice from their team leaders or their broker at the time they came in, or that's how they were trained, you know. But
I remember the first thing you said to me was, Marshall, it's like, what? Stay out of the hallways.
Yeah.
Don't talk to these new people. They don't know either.
Right. And that was one of the biggest things was I was taught by, you know, my buddy Steve Fole was, you know, nobody in the office is going to be buying real estate from you. So limit the conversations. You know, it's you know, nice to have a good rapport with other agents and definitely network with other agents about other properties. However, keep the personal chit chat to a minimum, and especially during those hours that you really need to be intentionally lead generating, right? So you need to be running ads. If calling's not your thing, you need to be running ads. I've met agents that hate every avenue of lead prospecting there is, or lead generation there is. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing in this business? You know, I mean, Zillow leads are dead. Online leads are dead. You know, I mean, you need to be a proactive prospecting agent in today's market. And that's how it's going to be as we have these big tech companies coming into our space, you know, the Open Doors, the Purple Bricks, the whatever their names are, all those guys. You need to really counteract their activity with more activity from you. So,
and not the wrong activity either.
Not walking around the halls is what you mean?
Well, you know, if there's an 80%, you know, fail out rate, that means 86% of the people you're watching are doing the wrong thing. So you got to find the right thing to do, the right person, the right mentor.
But Marshall, it's so easy to quit.
It's very easy to quit.
You know why?
Why?
Because it's so easy to get into this business.
That's right.
You know, and so if it's easy to get into the business and you're not held to any basically, which brings up my third point, is lack of accountability. If you have no accountability and you have no guidance, the first option to do, the easiest option is to quit, right? So I don't like seeing that. I don't like that mentality. If, you know, anybody who wants to, that's right on the fence or really kind of trolling that line of quitting, give us a call over at, actually send us a text, right? Over at Top Shelf at 88,000, 88000. Hit us with Top Shelf and it gives us your number. And if you want to have a conversation about maybe why you shouldn't quit, at no charge. I'm not charging anything, just having more conversations with people these days. Let's talk. Let's talk about why the reasons you shouldn't quit. Maybe some of you should. I'm not saying that. Yeah. You know, I'm not going to blow smoke up everybody's rear end and say everybody's cut out for this business.
Yeah. You had a great conversation the other day. I mean, I was, responding to emails and text messages and stuff, and I could kind of hear some of the conversation, and it seemed like they were struggling a little bit, and then you're kind of talking them through some of their processes and taking a lot of the fluff out of the stuff that they were doing and kind of refine them.
Yeah.
And so,
and the funny thing is that person that I was speaking to is in a high powered coaches program. They pay a lot of money every month for a coach that just has that normal check-in. You know, how many calls did you make? How many calls did you make? You know, can you do more? Just what was the response to that? You know, just kind of, how did you feel about it? Yeah. Oh, I don't get that. You know, the feelings thing. Like, did you feel comfortable doing those calls? No, you're supposed to feel uncomfortable. That's when you know it's working.
You need to put that on your vision board.
Yeah, vision boards. Light your vision boards on fire. You know, stop dreaming someone's going to come over and visualizing that someone's going to come and drop leads into your lap. It's just not going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to dream yourself right out of the business. And then you're going to be forced to go with another career, which typically involves working for someone else, which sucks.
Because then you have accountability.
And you have their accountability no matter if you like it or not, and you take their guidance. So whatever you have to do we touch on number 3 enough? No guidance, no training, no accountability. So I would reach out and find that. And that doesn't mean social media groups. That doesn't mean groups like even my group, Top Shelf Agents, or any other group out there that caters to new agents, and somebody asks a question and then you have 150 responses of agents that are just as new as you telling you what they believe is the best. And then your mind just goes a bunch of different directions. Yeah. We'll break it down for you. Text Top Shelf to 88,000 and we'll break it down for you what you need to do. There's 7 income producing activities you could be doing every day. Identify which one of those 7 you're the best at. Then pick 2 more that are supplemental to that one. That is the best way to do this. And then drill down and then stay consistent. Consistency wins in the long run.
You'll know you're the best at those or the ones you gravitate towards because you're actually trying them, not because you formed an opinion before you do them. Like you're saying in fanatical prospecting, they're talking about, I don't like doing this. I'm more of an upfront a people person. They're like, oh, great. How's that been working for you? Well, or how many deals have you completed doing that? Well, none. Okay. Right. Then that's not your best avenue. So testing them all is the best way to find out what you're the best at. Right. Longer than a day or 2.
And the new agents right off the bat need to gravitate towards, in my opinion, for sale by owners, withdrawals, expireds, and open houses. Yep. If you're going to do one great thing as a new agent, do open houses. Go back and search our open house podcast.
We have a couple.
We have a couple on there, yeah. And it breaks down a mega open house and it breaks down just a regular old open house. And so if you need tips and tricks and actionable activities to do for an open house that make it a win for you and that you're not wasting 2-3 hours there, text us at Top Shelf at 88,000 Top Shelf. And so we'll talk you through this stuff, whether you can have a conversation with me or Marshall or James. You're going to get one of us on the horn to talk to you a little bit more about what it takes to have a successful open house. A successful open house can be one person that comes in that either wants to buy that house or something similar in the neighborhood. Yep. People looking at open houses, they're drilled down. They're ready to go. They're 90 days out max.
Yeah.
30, 60, 90. Those people are their boots on the ground. They're ready to roll, you know? And if you ask the right qualifying questions, we can give you a list of those too. If you ask the right questions, possibly you can get them under contract within 30, 60, 90 days. Tell them, hey, my open house is still 4:00. At 4:05, I'll meet you over at 123 Main Street and show you that one too, and see if it works for you. If not, I've got 10 more. Yeah. Right. Take the list of properties with you. Let's not like deviate into a open house show. It's so easy to lose our train of thought here, but.
Look, the road's been paid for you already. Don't reinvent the wheel. It's going to take a lot of hard work of picking up the phone and dialing. That's where the money's at.
Yeah. And so where do you get those phone numbers for dialing? We touch on this stuff all the time, but maybe we have some new listeners that don't realize that. However, I want to call for sale by owners. I don't know what to say. Boom. Go to Google, put in FSBO scripts, download one or two of them, read through them. You'll see that they're pretty much different perspective from agents, but they say the same thing. And then hit what? Zillow?
There's a couple of different websites. You can literally type in for sale by owner. Yeah. And then you'll see a bunch of different sites that are going to give you a list, name and phone number, or address and phone number. Sometimes name.
Yeah. Fizbo.com, yeah. Zillow. Trulia is Zillow.
Zillow's my favorite, and I never say that in the same sentence. So,
yeah, just don't go off all the information. I mean, the contact information is there, which is great. And just work your way through a list or draw a big circle and then start working your way down.
Yeah. And then don't ever, here's one to add. Here's a bonus tip for you when you call these folks. And this is how we get FSBOs to work with us all the time. And I think last year we closed over 17 FSBOs, 16, 17 FSBOs, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but we can always shoot you the numbers of what we did. However, how we get people to work with us is the follow-up. The follow-up game is the biggest part of this. You know, you need to follow up at least at a minimum 7 times. Do not tell them. Here's the tip. Here's the magic. Do not ask them to call you back when they're ready to list. Do not ask them to call you. Do not put the ball in their court to call you.
Definitely don't sit around.
Never call you.
Waiting for them to call you.
Yeah, they will never ever call you. Proactive agents that go after it and make those contacts at least 7 times have a better opportunity to get in front of people. Right? So a Zillow comes, a for sale by owner comes on the market. Everybody calls the first 4 or 5 days, right? Every agent that works for sale by owners in the area. You have, say 10 agents calling.
Yeah.
They get told no, just like everybody else, right? Or they go over and they look at the property, they go in for the hard sale, they try to list over the phone. There's a bunch of bad activities there. However, when we call, we just want to build rapport. Right?
Got to get to know them, see motivation. You got to drill deep and find out why they're even trying to sell their house or where they're going, what their circumstances are. There's tons of information you can have great conversations with that lasts more than one conversation.
Right. And you can mention that you sell real estate in the area and you always want to know the inventory and you're not being disingenuous. You're not lying to that FSBO and that you want to call them next week and see how it's going. They want to get off the phone so badly with you because you're not a buyer that they'll agree to that. Yeah, give me a call. Put it in your calendar. 1 week from the minute you're talking to them, put it in your calendar, write it down, take a picture, snail mail it to yourself, whatever you got to do for the reminder to call on the exact same day next week. And then after that, you make it a habit of checking in once a week. Then offer something of value. Offer them, Marshall, you do the what with the value thing? What's your value proposition to the FSBO?
Leave them a seller's disclosure.
Well, that's when you go to look at the property. I offer the seller's disclosure. I do this a little bit different. I offer the seller's disclosure over the phone. I just need your email. So if I don't have their email already, boom, now I got your email. Now I get to double my touches. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. So every time I talk to you, I can send you an email. And I've after the first talk, I've already sent you a handwritten card. Right. And so a handwritten note card. Right. Not a, what do you call them? Postcards?
Postcard. No, I don't know anymore.
Greetings from my real estate office with you drinking a Mai Tai under the sun. Right?
Another thing I do is just kind of, like I said, ask them questions, try to find out where they're going. Once you can find out where they're going, if they have an agent in that area, then I'll start, sending them listings if it's MLS that I have.
Right. And so 7 times, then the ball starts, everything starts turning a little bit. Things start getting better. You feel like you know this person. They feel like they know you. They start expecting your call after the 3rd or 4th time. Hey, it's Thursday. hey, it's Wednesday. Well, where's Snowburger? Why hasn't he called me yet?
Yep.
You know, what's going on? And by this time, I've infiltrated their lives a little bit to where I've actually maybe even I found people before that I found super interesting. I was like, dude, I could hang out with this guy. This guy's cool. You know, this lady's awesome. I had an FBI agent that I was chasing down. I was like, she's an FBI agent. I want to hear cool stories, you know?
She already knew you were looking.
Yeah, exactly. She was profiling me. But so really what I'm saying here is just be intentional and calling FSBOs, calling expireds, and calling withdrawals. It's hard. Don't BS yourself. It's hard. But it gets easier. The more you call, the easier it gets. You'll never be 100% comfortable. If you're looking for 100% comfort, go clock in somewhere, sit at a desk, and do their job every single day of their assignments they give you. If you don't like being uncomfortable, I would say that you might be in the wrong business or just in the wrong position in real estate, because there's lots of positions in real estate, right?
Yeah.
So there's sales, there's the buyer's agent, the seller's agent. A lot of time the buyer's agent can work in a model to where they're more handed leads till they can go out and just work those and open doors.
Yeah.
That's more of a functionary position, right?
Yeah. You can just be on the phone calling. I mean, you can do the admin stuff. There's operations. There's
there's marketing
you can do
people.
Everything. Marketing.
Yeah. I mean, that's one right there that I'm looking for is I want a good marketing person to join our team. Someone that's a little bit better than what we even do.
Yeah.
And that's a horrible agent. that just doesn't want to do the tough things it takes to succeed in this business. I'm looking for that person, right? That got in here and was like, I kill it in marketing, I slay it, and then I get 100 leads and I don't call any of them. Cool, I want you on my team. You're very valuable to me. Call me for that one is 512-920-DAVE. Call me directly if you're that person.
That's awesome. I can't wait for your phone to be blown up for that.
Right. And you don't even have to be local. That's the cool thing is you can do it everywhere. But, some of the marketing. We do a lot of video and things like that. So I'd actually want that person to be, once again, I like the term boots on the ground with me and going out and shooting the videos for Wilco Eats and, all the other stuff that we do video-wise.
Yep. I could do that.
Fired.
Marshall, what a dope.
Sounds like a fun job.
Anytime you're ready, buddy. It just comes with a massive pay cut.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to back it up just a little bit there. Back to when we were talking about the FSBO calling. We were scripting this morning and James said something that was a good tip. So, I mean, even how long you've been in the business for a long time and you script every day, there's still things that are going to pop up that are new to you and that you'll adapt them into your conversation. So he said something this morning during script practice. I was like, hey, I like that. I'm going to incorporate that. What'd you say, James?
Well, yeah. So you'll get it with different script partners. Sometimes they're interactive with you, and sometimes they play the FSBO who doesn't want to talk and just kind of is a mute on the phone. And it's hard because you can't get the conversation going, so you struggle. And so you felt like it felt to me like you wanted to get off the phone. So I was like, all right, well, hey, I'm a big coffee drinker. Do you drink coffee? I'll bring some by on our appointment on Saturday morning. Because I also asked if you're a early morning riser, or you kind of like to, kind of get up and take your time getting up. And you said, oh, no, it's either way. So I was like, great. So what kind of coffee do you drink? And so you told me, I was like, great, I'll stop by 10:30 with your coffee. And then you're like, well, my wife's here. I was like, great. What does she drink? And you said the same, which is never true. But, so I was like, great, I'll grab both drinks for you guys. I'll meet you there 10:30 in the morning. And so it was a good segue. It kind of pulled you back in, caught you off guard. And then you're giving me something else of value that I can use later on what you drink and being able to pull you in.
It was a great tip. However, you did not ask how they determined the asking price to try to figure out if one of the members was an agent.
That was how I was
baby
myself.
steps. Yeah.
Yep. Thanks for the coffee, man. My wife's an agent. See you later.
However, on that, I would take that neuro-linguistic approach and really say, you like me, probably enjoy a good cup of coffee in the morning,
while shaking your head.
And while shaking your head, even through the phone, it conveys that you're shaking your head and saying yes. But what you just told them is that you like me.
Yeah.
You're going to have me in your house and I'm going to bring you coffee and then you're going to listen with me.
Yeah. It was kind of like a bocce thing. Like I'd normally go a little bit deeper asking questions and I missed that. And then the coffee thing saved me, but I didn't execute it because we had talked a couple of days ago about that, about nodding your head and then the prepping people with your statements to program them into the things to tie downs and connectors.
Jedi mind stuff.
Exactly. So it was a little haphazard, but it actually worked out pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, practice makes perfect.
Yeah, those hashing out through the mistakes and the troubles of going through the conversation helps, because later on when you're talking, you're not just fumbling around and and then getting lost, or those awkward silences, the non-intentional silences. Yeah, those aren't good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was I think some pretty good stuff out there. Some actionable items. Remember, if you want to reach out to us, hit us at Top Shelf Agents at 88,000. I'm going to leave you with one little tip real quick, as how to develop an above average income or career is to become an above average agent. So you need to develop your skills into becoming an above average agent. It doesn't take much to quote unquote be successful in this business. It just determine or depends on what your beacon is for success, right? And so ours is, that we have a good family lives, that we have plenty of money to pay our bills. We have money to try new things in the market to try to make things a little bit easier on us. However, we know we've had plenty of trials and errors over the past 5-6 years, that this business is simple, but it's not easy. Yep. And it won't continue to be easy. I've been able to really kind of build my referral business. Marshall, your referral business is great. Mine's with my sphere of influence. Your referral business is a mixture, agent to agent, and with your family as well. You've got a pretty big family, so that seems to be working out here and there. So the business is simple. It's not easy. Stay consistent. Keep your head down. Work. Limit your relationships with other agents. It's always cool to be good with other agents, or good to be cool with other agents is what I meant. However, you don't have to be best friends and waste from the minute you get into the office. If you're an office agent, to the minute you leave, you don't have to waste time with them. That's just what it is. Wasting time. Cool. Well, let's get out of here. I want to thank Mike Harrell with Guaranteed Rate. Mike Harrell is a mortgage ninja, can really do things that nobody can do. He's got a 10, 12, and 14-day close that is no joke. So we've been popping those lately, and I think we've gone through that in a podcast before. We were going to start something new with our 14-day close model. However, if you want to know more about that, you can reach out to us at Top Shelf Agents. Social media-wise, we're on Facebook, Top Shelf Agents. Anything else, gentlemen?
Oh, I think we covered it.
Yep. Let's wrap it up. Deuces.
I'm out.
We're gone.